being on the right side of the escalator, people are going up. Actually, this one has three, it's a triple one. So two are going up and one is going down. Some people will be running, and I know they'll be overtaking me from my left side. So that is why I'm on the right side of the escalators. Maybe they're chasing the trains. Yeah, and I have to be safe because I've arrived. Jump out safely. So yeah, that is it. We've been able to reach at the end. Hello there. This is Karaoke Moments. Today we are traveling. Karaoke Moments, we're traveling to London, like 1 hour away from where I live, using the train, and we've arrived at our major London Paddington train station, and it's magnificent work of engineering that was engineered by one of the well-known engineer architect, Isambard Brunel. He's done quite a lot of works in engineering, especially the railway line in this country. So here at Paddington train station, we're going to see the works, and it's a station that is in the core or the central part of London. I'm going to take you through. It is served by train stations that crosses over. We have the Paddington train station that serves the surface part of it, or the suburban and the outskirts that goes to the countryside of the railway line services. And we also have the underground, which is also commonly known as the tube station, that serves underground and mostly serves the central parts of London. And these train stations are named differently just for the sake of differentiating as per the routes. You know, we have Elizabeth, we have Piccadilly, we have just a few that serves, but as it goes outwards, it continues to serve the suburban areas of or the outer parts of London City, and also to the extreme farthest areas like Heathrow. It runs across all the way to Swansea, which is in Wales. And there are various companies of the railway line, like what you're seeing on the picture is GWR, or Great Western Railway Line, and they have their colors there because every train has its different colors. And this one comes like from across the country to the city. We have very many platforms. So when one is traveling, there'll be platforms that indicate where someone is going. And they're usually displayed on the display platform of platforms, whereby you see the train stations indicating, for example, from platform 1 to 14, it shows where the trains are running across to. So it shows, for example, if it says platform 5 is heading to maybe, let's say, Reading or Didcot Parkway, Swindon, it will be telling you across all the routes that you can be able to either drop directly there, or maybe you want to connect your route by a bus or taxi, or just getting your destination. So usually a route will be telling you, if you go to that platform, because it's well displayed on the display, platform displays and destination display. In every display, it will be telling you the train, expected time of that train, of departure, so that you can arrange for your journey, isn't it? And then it will be telling you the platform of the route that you're going. It will be telling you maybe how many more minutes is the train going to be delayed, or it's on time, the departure time, and then you can go and wait for your train. So after we arrive here, we are going to go through and see what is happening elsewhere in other parts of Paddington train station, and you'll be seeing the busyness and the this train station never stops of activities. You'll see people running across with their bags, maybe chasing their trains, as we saw on the display, the journey display area, or the traveling area that displays the journey. So maybe you have only 5 minutes to connect, or maybe 10 or 15. So there's a lot of rush, people running. You can imagine, for example, if it's office time, someone is running to catch maybe even 3 trains to their destination. And these trains could be within maybe short distances, whereby you have to go maybe from the surface one. You alight, you go and board on the tube station, maybe to go and get other 2 to connect someone maybe within every 5 minutes to go to the destination. So due to that rush, you'll find people are always glued to see what is happening when the trains are coming next. It's displayed on boards and you're able to plan for your journey better. If you miss your train, you know there'll be another upcoming one. You'll be able to know what time it's coming. Sometimes actually you even get onto a train and miss your destination. You can alight and get back to all this is paid for the journeys when you're within, from the time you get your entrance to the time you exit the train station. It's very well organized. By the way, it's magnificent works. You can see the beauty of how this work is and how it was well engineered. So people are traveling with their bags and just running around, very well indicated. That is Paddington train station. The rush, the adrenaline, the running around with children, with bags. And you will come with me now as we get to go to see what is happening on the underground. And there are some even underground stations that are really deep. Very many meters deep, and you use actually the escalators to go down, to go up, or some people prefer to use the stairs, but it's really underground when it's said underground, and it's tubular, it's tube. It can even be as deep as 90 feet deep. So it's tubular, like that is why it's called tube station. You'll be going under the tube, and many people, even when they are there, there'll be no signals for your phones because it's literally under the tube. Then under bridges, then until you get across onto the other side where you are alight and maybe you can connect. So that is the beauty. It shortens the distance and you can be able to go to your destination. So come with me as we go to see what is happening on the underground, as we go to see other areas like maybe the Elizabeth line, and we see what is happening. Enjoy our tour today. As I decide to move around, I live in a place whereby it is 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours if it's a drive, and around 1 hour train. So today I use the train, and I'm in one of the big train stations here in London. I'm at Paddington train station, and it's a very, very busy train station. As you can see behind me, we have lots and lots trains coming in, and actually because it's around 6 now, I've been here around 5:30, just looking at the traffic, looking at the traffic, the many people coming in and out. The trains are full, congested. Like now, actually, you'll be seeing a train has just arrived, and you'll be seeing people moving out. Definitely, you'll be seeing people with traveling bags, some people with even their babies or their dogs. They're coming from the train. It's just a busy, busy area. And coming from a very quiet area where I live, it's usually one of those areas that I find them very busy. So in this area, the traffic is so much, the people, the confusion, they're moving up and down. And it's one of the cities I always tell people, even if I remember maybe in Kenya was in a city, this London life is too fast, like people are moving all over. You'll always see people moving, walking, just jogging and running. You always rub shoulders, other than the quiet areas where we are. So in this area, you also find being the rush hours. Actually, as I'm saying, people just move, and there's a lot of openings and a lot of platforms, whereby trains going to various places usually are there. If you miss one area, you just miss your direction. I remember there is once I needed just to go to 3 other stations, but I just went round and round. I think I used more than 1 hour because I would always go and miss where I'm going. So it's really very, very close. And I'm going, for example, to show one of the things that I'm talking about. So if you look at it, you can come and see how close it is usually. Like now, this is one of the platforms, and you're being shown maybe how it's going to be. So we have the Bond Street, and then you go to Tottenham, then Paddington, then Liverpool, Whitechapel. You can see all these names. So these are the various places whereby you are supposed to. For example, if you're moving into the third one, if you find yourself onto, maybe you've gone to the fourth station, there's nothing much you can do unless you just alight from the train and then you have to go back again. So there's usually no way, the way, if it's a bus, maybe you're able to do it in a quicker way. So that is one of the disadvantages. Oh, and as I'm doing this video, let me give you a story. Karaoke with stories. So when I was in Nairobi many years ago, I think that is when escalators were starting to become very famous. They were mostly in very big malls in the city, like in Nairobi, very big malls and tall buildings. Every time we would go in a building where you would find there is the escalators and the staircases, I always used to take staircases. Unfortunately, one day I was traveling and I went to the airport. Actually, it was my first traveling many years ago. I think 2009 was my first one. When we reached the airport, there was no other way to go up the stairs other than using the escalators. But since then, I had to learn the hardest way. Nowadays, I just jump onto it. I hope nobody is having that dilemma. Nobody will laugh at me, especially their first time. But the best part is they are organized. Even there's this fear of, I used to have, maybe it's going to break or maybe an accident is going to happen. Imagine it's not, especially, for example, if you're on the slow moving lane and you don't want to move very fast. What happens is you use on the right side of the escalator, so that as you're moving slowly with it, anybody who wants to pass maybe quickly or run up with it, they'll be able to use on the left side. So it remains safe because nobody's confusing other. And also when you're going down the escalator, it is the same. You're supposed to use on the right side. This is it's like when driving, how you try to keep on one lane so that there is organization. And it's even written, even if maybe it's your first time. So the rush here, let me tell you, I would rather even ask people who live maybe in the outskirts of this big city. The rush is what gives me adrenaline rush. Like it's like people are breathless. I remember when I relocated from Kenya a couple of years back, and there was an option of me to work either in London or everything. One, when I was living Nairobi, being the capital city, and that is where I used to live, I knew I didn't want to go to another city. I hope you can hear me as I'm saying. Yeah, there'll be announcements, people moving. There's nothing much we can do because people have to move and people have to maybe cross over. But as we were doing that, and the choices of us being able to work in the city, I didn't want to, having been in Nairobi. So when I saw London, and because I had visited London many years ago, I knew how rushy it was. Every time I would want to go somewhere in 2009, the use of maps, they're getting lost. I didn't want to. So one of the cities that I knew I ran away from was London. So London, by the way, up to date, I'm just a visitor. I only come to visit. The rush, you can see, gosh, the whole people are rushing, and this is their rush hour now. And maybe someone has 2 or 3 trains to go and catch, and maybe you have 5 minutes in between, or maybe just 2. So it's the rush that I didn't like. And also when you compare the city here, London, and the outskirts, there are also some other disadvantages that could be there. For example, the high cost of living being one of the cities, just like when you live in a suburb area, whichever country you come from, it's usually cheaper than the city, isn't it? So it's the same. London, you find life is a little bit more expensive, and the houses are a little bit also more expensive, the cost. But transportation, by the way, it's efficient and effective. Buses could be running back to back, even less than 5 minutes every other place, unless you're very far from the city. Then the trains also are very, very reliable. Even when they have a breakdown, they are well alerted. So it's a take it or leave it. That's how I look at life. Because even you go to the quieter sides of maybe of the country, like me, I'm in the quieter, slightly quieter. Yeah, it's quieter because it's like 2 to 3 minutes away from 2 to 3 maybe it is 2 to 3 hours from the city. Yeah, it's quieter, slightly quieter. But here in the city, you find that there's a lot of rush. But also we have many other items, and also because of the high cost of living, you'll find maybe the salaries are a little bit more than when you're out of. It's usually more than when you're out of the city, and you realize actually, as it is expensive, you will still realize even if it's expensive, the salary is a lot. But also, as I'm saying, the high cost of living, the houses are slightly pricey, maybe the lots of transportation and such. So that's how I can look at it. But you know what? It's a decision everywhere you want to. Like, for example, people who are used to city life, they find, like even a few of my friends, they find where I live, it's slow. They say it's a slow life. Yeah, it's boring. Like people have to, it's just boring, slow. Life stops by 7, but here, like for example in the city, life is just continuous. By 9, by 10, people are just moving all over the trains. Maybe people are running shift work to just go and work, but very reliable, as I'm saying. Also the places, you'll find we have pockets of places where people would like to live, maybe certain communities. If it's Asian, if it's African, it will be easier for people to live in those areas and be able to get maybe the kind of food that they like, the kind of churches, maybe the kind, if it's Muslims in mosques, etc., if it's Hindus and the temples. So basically, I think how I look at life is whenever you want to relocate, I don't think there is a very super way of saying there's a city that is better than the other or there's a town that is better than the other. No, how I look at it is it depends with how you want your needs to be. As I'm saying, I used to live in a city in Kenya. I used to live in Nairobi. But I did want to, I had made up my mind, whichever country I will be relocating to, I don't want to go to a big city. Why? I didn't want the rush. I didn't want the just always being on the rush, just always feeling like, oh, peak hours, you know, when people are coming from office, I have to run, get stuck in the traffic. So I knew that. I knew I wanted a slower kind of a life. And it is true. That is how I live. Very slow. Buses can come even every 15 minutes or every 20 minutes. This is the rush I was telling you. When a train comes, it's nothing you can do. People are just running like that. Imagine this is normal. We are not acting. This is the normal life. Everybody, when you hear your train being announced, for example, in the background, because it doesn't wait. It stops maybe a minute or two. By the time everybody is going, like if you look at it now, the doors are shutting. Once they shut, you can't even go near the trains because you have those train station people who man the train station. They won't even allow you to go near. Like if you look behind me now, that train behind me, the doors are open. They're going to be shutting even a minute, the one that is behind me over there. So, and it's showing you, it's even telling you, for example, that one, you see, it's already closing. It's telling you it's going to Abbeywood and it's going via Canary Wharf. It's telling you where it's going. So if you're not going on that side, imagine if you go in, you'll be taken to another different part of the town. And you can't even, hey, stop. You know how, like, for example, in Kenya, we have this habit of when a bus is going, you can just even bang it and say, hey, stop. Unfortunately, once a train goes, you have to wait to the next train station for you to alight. And you never even know where you are. That is why many people, when they are new, they even walk with their maps, either Google Maps or paper maps. That is the life. But you know what? This is life. Everybody has a change of life, adjustments. Once you get used to, imagine you even laugh. You can even just close your eyes and you know where you're going. That is life. So today we're in the city. We are having fun. Learn just how to travel. On my way home, as I told you. So yeah, going up, being on the right side of the escalator. People are going up. Actually, this one has 3. It's a triple one. So 2 are going up and 1 is going down. Some people will be running, and I know they'll be overtaking me from my left side. So that is why I'm on the right side of the escalators. Maybe they're chasing the trains. Yeah, and I have to be safe because I've arrived. Jump out safely. So yeah, that is it. We've been able to reach at the end. By the way, trains are very effective, though they are mostly expensive. That's also something I wouldn't want to forget. The cost of the trains, they move very fast. That is one of the efficiencies and efficacy of it. They are timekeeping, but also they are slightly pricey. Not slightly, they are pricey. They're expensive more than the buses. The buses are cheaper, but the buses are slower. The trains are faster. The trains are expensive. So maybe we can now have a look how people are going up. I would like us to have a look. You see, because for example, a train has come, and this train, people are just going to come. It's coming from a place called Reading. Maybe now people are coming because, as I said, this is a very Paddington. Is a very major train station, so you can see the rushes. People are going up. Maybe someone has 5 minutes just to go and connect. I remember in the movies back at home, I'm not a very good movie watcher, but even when you're watching clips or something, you would see how people run in the train stations. It's like a movie. I didn't know one day I was going to do it because we are used to running here. And another thing, gosh, I used to wonder, why do people like to carry backpack like this, even ladies? Nowadays, I don't even do handbags. Maybe Sunday, just when I'm going to church and coming out, because that is my bag. Why? It's always having all the time what you want. Like, this is a full house. Like, not because it's cold. You can see how I'm dressed, yeah? I'm slightly, I think today we are +4 degrees, yeah? Not very bad. That is to us now is warm. But you can see I'm in those boots, and inside there, the boots are cushioned. And I have to be in jeans, and in jeans you are in layers. In jeans I have some leggings which are thermal, they keep the legs warm. Then I have the jeans, I have socks, those are 3. I have other inner ones. Then I have the coat outside. I have a full neck or polo neck, however you want to call it. I have a t-shirt, I have a vest. Imagine all that layer. And I have this hat that helps to keep me warm. No wonder we don't care about hairstyles here. Yeah, we don't care about hairstyles. Even we can even just stay with us. Yeah, nobody cares because you're always covered. Especially, oh God, I want to confess, this winter, this season, the cold one, it's usually here in UK. It's usually from around December-ish to March. So January and February is like the peak. To me, it takes away the joy. Oh God, this winter hits me. You know, even the dressing, the dullness, even when you go out. Like today we went to a restaurant. Gosh, it was only me and my husband. We were just seated there. You can see there's no life. So we're waiting for the next spring. At least there'll be some warmth coming in, and then summer. So we take advantage of every season. That is why actually there's so much that we should learn to enjoy. For those ones who are not here, maybe they're in Africa or any other place, learn to enjoy, because you will still find something good in where you are. You might not get everything, but you'll still find good. Like what I miss, back home in Kenya, what I miss is the warmth, you know, the warm weather, no jackets most of the time. You're just in very light tops and maybe dresses that are light. But here we go for the warm and darker clothes because you just want to keep warm. What I'm saying is never regret in life. Every season is important and every time is important. Now here, it's our time to chase the trains, and because it's around 6, we are planning on how also we are going home. You can see the queue because everybody is rushing. Maybe they've connected 2-3 trains. By the time you're reaching home, you are totally exhausted. But it is a good thing. If you want to join, I can't discourage anyone. Come. Get opportunities, come and work, but make hay while it shines, wherever that you are. Yeah, like now that's an announcement. That's why I kept quiet there. There's an announcement that was being made, but that one was for the train workers. They're looking for one of their colleagues and telling them to report at the office. So thank you very much. We really appreciate you. Have you subscribed in this channel? If you haven't, kindly do. And spend your time watching the video so that we can have the full time of watch time hours, and continue sharing, subscribe. We love you till we get to see you again. Bye for now.